everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I can see the energy here this morning. Is anyone unhappy or something? Are you catching cold? Okay, you're mining. What are you mining? All right. It's always a pleasure to be in the midst of all you great young people and to share thoughts and testimonies and history and excitements around blockchain technology, of which most people are excited about the crypto aspect, which is fantastic. But it's always nice to let everyone understand the depth of this innovative technology and how it can help you, especially if you live in this country. Probably outside Nigeria, you don't need as much as blockchain technology as we need it here. But definitely, if you are in Nigeria and Africa generally, you need this technology. You really need this technology. And this morning, I will be sharing with you thoughts according to the topic I was given to talk about, which is the evolution, growth, and development of blockchain technology in Nigeria. So once again, I want to thank everyone who is part of this event to make it a success today. Blockchain Vibes is an initiative to broaden the efforts that we're making in the ecosystem for a couple of years now and drive awareness and adoption of blockchain technology in Nigeria. Franklin and Boundless Pay has been here for a long time, and it's always a pleasure to have them in the things that we do in the ecosystem. I want everyone to put your hands together for Franklin, the convener of the event, and Boundless Pay, the host of the event. Put your hands together for them. Maybe you don't understand what it takes to organize events in Lagos. It's not a tea party, because we've been doing events in Lagos for, this about this 5th or the 6th year, doing blockchain events. If it were to be Davido that is coming, or probably Burna Boy, probably you will not see any space to even pass with your foot, talk less of driving your car, because those are the things that excite majority of people. People are not really excited about technology and the solution that it offers. So when you want to do an event, a conference like this, you really need to appeal to the consciousness of less than 5% of the population to be able to pay attention to what you are trying to say, do, or project. So the next group of people that I wanted you to put your hands together for, it's you that is sitting down here. So put your hands together for yourself. You are a hero. You are a disruptor. You are a change maker. Okay? So because of people like you, Nigeria and Africa has hope. Because we need people like this, innovators, people who pay attention. Everywhere I have traveled to all around the world, I have seen that they transform their societies using technology. And for us here, technology has become one of the most important tools that can help us leapfrog many of the challenges that we have. Because right now, we don't even have legacy systems that are technologically friendly. So what blockchain technology does for us is to help us to jump over them. We use the term leapfrog, to go above those challenges and go straight to the cutting-edge technologies of blockchain and digital assets. So I'll be speaking to you this morning. If you may, can you project my slide? So my name is CHIMEZIE, CHUTA, as you can see on the board, and I'm founder and coordinator of Blockchain Nigeria as a group. I'm also a whole lot of things in the blockchain space, including being the Adaverse partner for Nigeria. Adaverse is a Cardano blockchain accelerator incubator and funding partner that helps to fund blockchain projects from Nigeria. And what we do in Adverse is we identify people who are building projects and easily go through what they are doing, find the viability, and put probably 100, 200, 500K dollars into what they are doing to help them to get started. So if you are doing anything like that or you have such intention, be sure to drop me a mail, a chat, and we'll get to talk to you. Next slide, please. Next slide, okay. Just move on. So, blockchain technology in Nigeria has actually come of age because we began to be bold enough to talk about this technology and hold public events as far back as 2016. And beyond that, before that time, it was difficult for you to talk about blockchain technology. You cannot go to a radio station or a TV station and mention the word Bitcoin. Government was so hard on MBC that if a radio station allows you to talk about Bitcoin, they will fine them hundreds of thousands of naira for violation. But we have moved from there because we persisted, because we insisted that this innovative technology must not be allowed to die in our country. It offers us the most visible opportunity to have the lives of millions of Nigeria transformed. So when you see people talk about blockchain in TV stations, on radio stations, and even have boldness to put up billboards, you have to understand that we are coming from a very difficult background with experiences that are so hard for you to even understand if you're just coming into the space. So we'll look at some of the events in the last 2 years that have shaped the growth of blockchain technology in Nigeria. Many of us know about the NSAS. I'm sure most of you are part of that initiative. It was one time in history that publicly Nigerian government understood the power of Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is not necessarily designed for people to trade it. Rather, it was designed as a resistant instrument, an instrument that you use in resisting oppression. And when NSAS was trying to raise funding to drive the protest, government blocked all the traditional finance circles. And Twitter CEO Jack said, use Bitcoin. That was when Nigerian government understood that it's possible to utilize an alternative financial system to drive something that is anti-government. So we saw Bitcoin rise in popularity during the NSAS protest in 2020. Next slide, please. Immediately after that, in January 2021, Bros Emefiele quickly brought out the long hammer and hit the industry. That was the most embarrassing decision that the central bank had made till date, as far as the industry is concerned. So the MEFE crypto ban not just created more awareness, but also gave some kind of legitimacy to this technology as being as disruptive as we have been making it out to be. Okay, so next slide. Bitcoin got bolder. Crypto got bolder. And in 2021, we saw a crypto company, Patricia, sponsoring BB Niger. It was a big shock to them. The more they tried to suppress the industry, the more the industry continued to find voices. Next slide, please. The next, we began to see billboards, bold billboards, being mounted across Lagos, across Port Harcourt. You're driving past and you're seeing lunar billboards. You go to Port Harcourt, you start seeing Bantu billboards all over the place. People are asking, what is it? What's going on here? All these added to the interest in Bitcoin and generally in blockchain technology. Next slide, please. Then we had the debut of a Bitcoin ATM in Lagos. Of course, it made a lot of waves because international news agencies carried it. These are the things that bring attention to what we do. Next slide, please. Then, sometimes people don't understand the importance of playing active role in the industry such that you can gain global attraction. When you go out there and you browse the Bitcoin notes that are available in the world, you find out that there are barely little or no nodes coming out from Africa. Around that same period, we were able to set up a Bitcoin Lightning node, and it gave us a whole lot of attention because international news media were focusing their searchlight, because for the first time you could go to the network, Bitcoin Lightning node network, and you search for nodes and you see nodes in Africa. Next slide. Not just Bitcoin node, we also found out that we have begun to see nodes of other networks. Currently, I run Bitcoin Lightning node. I run Tezos Nigeria node. It's important that when people are looking at a particular network, they can find participation within the local environment where you are. So beyond holding the asset and making money off it, think about how to participate in the network, how to become operators, validators, become people who are involved in the network and helping it to survive. Then, of course, we saw the growth of cryptocurrencies and trading and transactions, crypto millionaires. Next slide. You have crypto millionaires, everyone coming out and showing that, look, the bull market is paying off. A lot of Lambos, a lot of houses being bought by crypto traders and all that. Then, we also have a whole lot of activity that has also increased. Before the crypto ban, the industry didn't have a common voice. But in the last 1 year and 2 years, we have seen the rise of Blockchain Industry Coordinating Committee of Nigeria, which is an umbrella body that has brought together all the other associations, communities, and bodies that are doing almost the same thing and relevant things in the blockchain space. You have the CIDN, you have Blockchain Nigeria as a group, you have CBAN, you have FinTech Association of Nigeria, all together, working together to make sure that the industry grows and blossoms. Next slide, please. Now, Nigeria, not only do we lead in crypto trade, we're also leading in terms of attracting foreign funding into African continent, into Nigeria, in a big way. A lot of attention. In fact, Africa is considered as the next frontier of technology innovation. And because of that, a lot of VCs are focusing on Africa. And of course, when you talk about Africa, Nigeria grabs about 40% of whatever is available for sharing in Africa. And that's what we are seeing in funding. This year alone, within the first quarter and second quarter of this year, over $91 million has been invested in blockchain technologies and startups that are in Africa. And of course, Nigeria alone has over 39% of that amount that has been raised. Next slide, please. And we're also seeing that most of the investment that are coming in are going primarily into payments, remittances, exchanges, and projects that are targeting solving the financial inclusion problems that we have in Africa. It's understandable that some of these monies go into this industry because that's where the primary pain point is. People are finding it difficult to do a whole lot of things. I mean, today in Nigeria, they have practically banned us from using our local ATM cards to pay for international transactions. Previously, they used to allow us to do $20 per month. I mean, look at me, a full-grown Papa Madu, you know. They will say, I can't do transaction of more than $20 in a month. How much is hosting of a simple website? How much do you pay for content delivery network? How much will you buy courses? How much do you pay for running nodes in servers, cloud service companies? How much are you paying for them? So you see that by financial technology, Nigeria's financial system, and of course, most of it all around, is designed to keep you poor, continue to make you poorer, and resist you from accessing the opportunities to make better your life. But most of these blockchain companies that are coming are creating solutions that are helping us navigate some of those difficulties. Next slide, please. Of course, I'm an adverse partner for Nigeria, and we are leading in funding for blockchain projects in Africa. Over the last couple of months, we received close to 250 applications, disqualified about 68 of them, engaged the rest of them, and we've directly invested in about 11 of those startup companies. So if you are here and you are building products and you are struggling for finance and you are sure that what you're building solves life problem, please talk to us. Go to adavas.co and submit an application, or you can DM me directly. Next slide, please. So let's look at some of the promising blockchain projects that are rising from Nigeria today. This list is not exhaustive in any way. It's just examples. So you have Bantu Blockchain, you have Bundle Africa, you have Chats, Mona, QDAX, Zen Finance, CHIMEZIE, Boundless Pay, House Africa, Bitmama, TradeFather, Luno, etc. These companies are targeting painful challenges Nigerians are facing and helping to deliver solutions for them. Next slide, please. There have been some restraints. Things like uncertain regulatory status. Up till now, we don't know the federal government policy, clear policy concerning blockchain technology in Nigeria. It's not clear. We have been in every one of the doors of the regulators in Nigeria, be it NIDA, be it SEC Nigeria, be it CBN, be it NFIU. We have all been there trying to get them to draft the right regulatory framework that will help this industry. Of course, we also have lack of awareness and technical understanding regarding blockchain as being issues that regulators and policymakers are facing. But we also draw a lot of educational resources and do in-house training for them in those agencies. So we also have a lot of concerns regarding security, privacy, and control. We also have rise of Ponzi schemes and scams everywhere. Then, of course, the current technical challenges. A lot of people a few years ago or a few months ago, if you want to sell somebody $50 worth of Ethereum, for instance, you have to pay a transaction fee of maybe $35 or $39, and nobody likes that. Those are scalability issues. Of course, shortage of requisite skills. In trying to build blockchain solutions, you need talented people. There are tools, there are technologies that people need to learn and understand before they can build those solutions. There is a lack of it. Any one of you can find a pathway in the blockchain industry and help some of these problems. Next slide, please. Okay, so we've seen a whole lot of activities going on. Of course, I've talked about the ban on financial services for crypto-based companies. We also have seen that SEC suspended regulation, but recently came up with a guideline for visual financial asset service providers, which is skewed directly against local blockchain companies, and we have made that known to them already. Of course, somewhere along the line, the national blockchain strategy document that NIDA is working on is still stalled, it's not yet done. Then we also know that NFIU, draft crypto regulation, is still a work in progress. So that's where we are. No clear direction is available so far as regulation and policy is concerned. Next slide, please. So, progressive stakes and what Nigeria's government should be doing, or what the industry should be doing. So we have Fintech Association of Nigeria, we have Blockchain Nigeria as a group, we have the Blockchain Dev 1000 initiative, then Blockchain Industry Coordinating Committee, Beacon, working together with other communities and other government agencies to thrash out some of these challenges. Next slide, please. So we are expecting that Nigerian government and policymakers will continue to have broader stakeholder engagement. There should be better interagency collaboration. When we're working on the FinTech Roadmap Committee of Nigerian Capital Market, we have people from CBN, people from SEC Nigeria, people from Nigeria Deposit Insurance Company, okay, NDIC. We have people from NIDA. But at the end of the day, they could not agree on common grounds for the implementation of that document. So we need to have much more better collaboration from them. Of course, they need to have proper reskilling, they have to upskill, and they have to reskill their staff. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to expect somebody who doesn't understand blockchain technology to be taxed with the responsibility of drawing up regulation and policy for it. Of course, creating sandboxes and regulatory frameworks. Sandboxes are experimental environments where people can do what they want to do without necessarily exposing themselves to too much risk. Of course, sponsoring legislations. Nigeria is legally oriented environment. So when they want to stop you from doing something, they'll talk to you about the legality. But if they are not interested, they'll let you do whatever you want to do. For this one, they are hoping that whatever we want to do as an industry, they will stop us from the legislative angle. So we need to have sponsorship of friendly regulations, friendly legislations before the National Assembly. Next slide, please. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I hope I've been able to show you where we are and what we're doing. Thank you so much.